Echoes.
That was actually not the track I was talking about, but that was a very successful track off the album, and we had to play that all the time. That because as you can hear, and you know, that's a very popular track all around the world. I wish I had written it, otherwise I'd probably not be here.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just a load of fun because the essence of the Blue Echoes, from what I'm picking up, Ray, is the fact that they were an entertaining band. They went into cabaret style.
Yes.
They'd left behind their 60s kind of roots, rock and roll, straightforward, stand up on a stage and give it. Well, they were now kind of working into the cabaret circuit and entertaining and having a laugh and fooling around and generally being well-paid clowns, I think.
Yes, you wouldn't really call us a heavy metal band, but we entertained. We really appealed to the 99% of people who don't know music, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And not the 1% who.
So that limbo rock just exemplifies what the essence of the band was all about. But it wasn't really the one you wanted to play.
No, it wasn't.
Because we've got to mix up on the track numbering.
Yes.
So anyway, that's no big deal.
No.
I just want to find out a little bit more about you before we play the next track. About you and, kind of, I'm interested in finding out how you got into the business in the first place, and kind of what are your musical roots, Ray? Where do they go back to? Say, for instance, your school days.
Yes.
What influence did you have in your school days to bring you forward to where you are now?
Well, I did have a classical background. I did learn classical music when I was very young, and then I actually played jazz.
Right.
And then we were doing a concert at the Melbourne Town Hall. It was a big jazz festival, and it was just as the Beatles, about 6 months before the Beatles really made it big. And
1963?
About 63, around about that time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the jazz bands were saying, who are these 7 Day Wonder, what's this 7 Day Wonder band?
Well, of course,
and we thought it would pass, you see. So we did on the Melbourne Town Hall concert. It was called Moomba Jazz Concert. I decided to say, well, look, let's send up this Beatle band, and we did I Want to Hold Your Hand, except we substituted the word hand for another word that rhymed with hand. I want to hold your, you can guess what it is?
Wand?
That's close enough, yeah. And but we played it actually in the same feel the Beatles did.
Yeah.
In a rock and roll feel, we just changed the words.
Yeah.
And it was then, because at the jazz dances everyone danced and pretended they were into jazz, and as soon as we played I Want to Hold Your Hand, people stopped dancing and just turned around to the band and just stood there, and I could see then this is what was happening.
Yeah.
So that's when I got into the rock and roll.
Yeah, but your musical kind of skill, if you like, emanates from an hereditary source.
Oh, well, that's my aunties. My aunties during the Second World War, they had a very successful, there's 3 of them, all-girl band. Yeah. And of course, while the guys were at war, they got all the work. But they were, naturally, because there weren't any guys playing, music, they were all overseas fighting.
Yeah.
So, and they were one of the very few successful all-female bands to continue into the 60s and into the 70s.
I mean, I can't imagine these girls were kind of playing guitars and drums. What were they playing? They were playing brass instruments.
No amplification.
And what kind of instruments were they playing?
Well, there was drums, slap bass, trumpet, saxophone, violin, and I had a girl vocalist and piano.
Right.
And so that's the sort of dance music, and they did all the dance, but they didn't get into the rock and roll.
No, they never made it that far, but that was hugely popular those days. And it was mainly there for dancing, wasn't it?
Yes, so strictly dancing.
Strictly dancing.
The modern waltzes, the rumbas, the cha-chas, and all that.
And all that. So that, you can look back that far to your musical roots. It gives you these talents and skills that you've brought forward right up to today, and that's an amazing thing and a gift to
well,
you
that's
to
right.
have.
Yeah. I think I was about 5 or 6, maybe a little older when the dance band, my auntie's band, were playing, and she got me up on stage. And, she said, "Come on, Raymond." She said, "I want you to sing something." And I said, "Well," so I sang Johnny Ray, "Walking My Baby Back Home," and that was the first time that I.
Is that right? Yeah. Go on, give us a little.
Gee, but it's great after being out late, walking my baby back home.
That's the one.
I'm over meadows. That one. You know it?
I was so enjoying that. Really did enjoy that.
Yes, so all stuff like that.
And he made a lovely gesture towards his girlfriend Jill.
Yes, Jill's here.
Just doing that,
Jill's
which
here.
was very nice.
Yes.
Very
I thought
nice.
she might have broken into a chorus, but
right, yeah,
it was the wrong key.
Yeah. And Jill's overlooking proceedings here. She's very shy, very quiet Australian.
Well, sometimes.
Girl. Sometimes. So we may get her to kind of have a little chat to her a bit later. And I've also got my dear wife, Christine, here with me as well. And she is doing a little bit of filming for us. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of this onto YouTube.
Oh, wonderful.
And have a little kind of visual about what we all look like.
Yes.
And then you wish you hadn't tuned in, you
That's
people.
right, exactly right. We wish we hadn't have been here. No, just joking.
Yeah, I mean, we're broadcasting today from the Wrightington Towers, as they're called. And it's the studio in the hospital radio. This hospital radio is in Wrightington, slap bang in the middle of Lancashire in the UK. Right. And it does a great job for all the patients and staff in the hospital. And we met outside trying to find a way in today. We met one of the nurses, didn't we?
We did.
And she'd not a clue we're here.
No.
It's a shame, isn't it, that our actual nurses that work here, some of them are not even aware that we exist. But we're getting the message out slowly, aren't we, Diane?
We're trying, yeah.
We're trying. So 2 years we've been here now. Is it 2 years? 3 years we've been here. And still a lot of staff don't know about us. We're broadcasting also to Wigan and District Hospital, the Royal Albert Edward, aren't we, as well?
We're broadcasting everywhere.
And then, of course, we're online, just like we are now. And hopefully you're listening to us, regaling you with all of Ray Quon's memories. And have you got another track lined up, did you say?
Well, let's hope we can pick the one I decided, but it doesn't matter. They're all from our album, so I think that if we try number...
try number... What number is this, then? Yeah.
Gee. Could try number 4 and see how we
Diane's
go.
Pressing with fingers, and here we go. Pop music, can't go wrong. You're winning your audience over straight away with that kind of material, aren't you? And you're getting the work because of it. That was the main thing, wasn't it?